Yeah, thank you, Jess. Looking forward to race number 1 of the Touring Car Masters here this afternoon. Carl Reindler's alongside me, and those incidents we've seen in the past, but test me to the way these cars are built and to the fact this track is nice and safe.
Yeah, we've said it before. We'll continue to say when these incidents happen. It was just incredible to see Scotty jump out of that car safely. You know, the medical team have been over him, and he's in pretty good nick. That was a big hit. You never like seeing it. Most of us guys have been there before, but it is a bit of a reality check from a driver's point of view, and no doubt the DJR Team Penske guys will get that car back together, and we'll see Scotty back out there. Maybe not in time for qualifying, but hopefully this afternoon for the race.
And a big shout out to everybody here at Queensland Raceway. Our volunteer staff and officials have just worked around the clock in the past 15 minutes to repair turn number 3 so we can continue on with racing here today.
Yeah, it's something we don't get to see quite often on TV, is the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes to get the track back up to the standard that it needs to. There's certain requirements for a track, as we see the grid here for the Touring Car Masters race.
Looking forward to it. Glenn Seaton got his 2nd pole position of the year. Jason Gomersall will start on the front row for the 3rd time in 2016. We've got some big news on John Bowe we'll get to soon, but Eddie Abelnica and Tony Karanfilowski will start on the 2nd row. Down the order to Leo Tobin and Rowan Little. Alan Bowen and Mark King all the way back down in 20th for White Line Racing here today. And on the back row there, John Bowe. Now, we saw that car struggling during qualifying today. It was an electrical issue, and the stewards have put into the rear of field. He was 14th. They put into rear of field for stopping on the track. You might want to explain why that's happened. Yeah, it's a safety issue, particularly in qualifying when everyone's pushing these cars so hard. You know, when you've got an issue, you've got to get off the track. You've got to do something. He had the opportunity to drive the car off the track. You know, he didn't do it, and he's copped a penalty as a result. So he's going to have to suck that up and get on with the job at hand. Like you say, he'd actually qualified 14th initially, which is not a bad little recovery from the little electrical gremlins that they had in that car. But now he's got his work cut out from him, starting from P23 at the moment. What we're going to see is some pretty exciting racing from JB coming through the field in a very fast car. We saw him top 3 or top 4, I think, in practice yesterday. Currently leading the championship as well. So now that Johnson's out, that's other news as well. Stevie J, they were up till midnight last night trying to put another engine in that car yesterday, but they were unable to do so. So the pressure's off from Stevie J, but still, John Bowe does have to come through that field and get as many points as he possibly can. Yeah, Johnson not starting this weekend after damaging his engine aboard the Pete Gagan tribute car yesterday. They tried to fit 2 engines, one from Eddie Abelnica and one from Rusty French, and by late last night they threw their hands in the air and just said, no, we'll sit this one out. So it makes exciting television for you at home today to watch John Bowe from the back of the field, but it's Glenn Seaton on pole position for a rolling start here at Queensland Raceway. And Jason Gomersall has been solid all weekend, and you got the likes of Eddie Abelnica on the 2nd row. Set for a start in this one. We've shortened it by a few laps as we get set to wave the green flag. I always love the rumble as they come past our commentary position. And the green flag waves. I like the look of the start. And Glenn Seaton will get the jump on the run down here to turn number 1. Great start by Glenn Seaton as they enter turn 1. Always makes me nervous, this corner. Any track that is a really high-speed corner is turn 1. You've got to be really careful, but all of them going through quite safely side by side. You don't want to get left out to dry on the outside of turn 2. There's a lot of tyre marbles. All through pretty cleanly as they approach the big braking zone down into turn 3. So Seaton got the limiter then coming out of turn number 2. This long 240k, 250k an hour approach, and Gomersall on the wrong side of cool here. It's going to leave the door open for Eddie Abelnica, but we'll shut that before he has a chance to put Brisbane's cheapest cars, Falcon, up the inside. It does make for good racing. If you end up on the outside there at turn 3, it means you're on the inside for turn 4, which I think that's what Gomersall was trying to do with Glenn Seaton in front of him. John Bowe is up to 17th position already. We'll keep an eye on him as well as the rest of the field. There is Adam Garwood, his best qualifying effort of the season inside the top 6. Challenging now with Adam Bressington, who's back in the series aboard the Bob Middleton-owned number 95 car. A bit of defending there into turn 6. Rightly so. He did make the passing move into turn 4 or 5, I think it was. And those wind gusts stronger than what they were this morning. We had gusts of over 50 kilometres an hour going across the track. It hasn't calmed down much. Got a car spinning off in the background, and that will be the 68 machine going down the order of Wilson. making a guest appearance here this weekend in Touring Car Masters, and that's down at turn 6, and hopefully that doesn't bring out the safety car, because it's only a 9-lap race for a time-certain finish of 12:58. He's going to get the car out of our commentary box window.
He is rolling, which is good, so no safety car.
Replay here, and that's Darren Beale. Leo Tobin's old mount that he had earlier this season. Beale made his debut. Oh, and that was King. Taking evasive action down there at turn 4. All on his own, wasn't it, here for Wilson?
I tell you what, that was pretty close to saving it. Just coming in a little bit too hot into turn 6. We've discussed it previously. That is a really tricky little corner, that one.
Back to the leaders, so top 3 compressed. In fact, the 4 of them, Karen Filosky, having a good showing here today. Got caught up in the wars at Winton with Rusty French. Had a crash at Adelaide earlier this year in the centre chicane. Looking for a podium perhaps here today in race number 1.
John Bowers now up to P13, which is a great result. The odds are against him at the moment. Not only has been put to the back of the field, but the race distance has been shortened from 13 laps down to 9 laps as a result of the dramas from the supercar session just before. So all these guys, I just wonder if they had to reset tyre pressures and things like that because it's a shorter race. But John Bowers hustling that car hard, probably really enjoying himself out there, doing a lot of overtaking.
Extra incentive for John Bowers. This is Garwood and Andrew Fisher, who started 9th up to 7th place. The Jesus Racing Falcon, we're on board with him now. He seesaws away at the steering wheel, heading down this long, fast back straight. Garwood on the defensive straight away before we get to the braking zone.
It's been very defensive actually since overtaking. You've got to be and on the brakes quite early as well. You know, Andrew Fisher's going to get this done.
Oh, and off goes Karen
around
Filosky.
the outside. That's going to set him up beautifully into turn 4. Great move there by Andrew Fisher.
Oh, look at this now. They're in grid formation again. The rows of 2. The Fisher will go down the inside. Watch Tony Kane. He's gone back 3 positions. And now gets back down the inside of Garwood.
Someone locked up then. I think it was Garwood.
Now he's got some angry guys around him.
Geez, that backfired quickly on him, didn't it? Slightly defensive into turn 3, and he's lost a couple of positions.
Keith Kasulki, super effort for him. He's inside the top 10 on his return to TCM competition after nearly 12 months. He's been to hell and back, hasn't he? And it's great to see him back aboard the 52 Monaro that he got pole position here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he's picked up where he left off. No shortage in, this performance has been great all weekend in that car. It's funny, it's a question we quite often get after a big accident. Obviously, we saw some, as we cut back to a bit of an incident here.
So it's Tony Karen Filosky going off.
I just wonder if he's got some braking issues. He's struggling to pull that car up on a number of occasions.
And now he's pointing out to right the wrongs of what happened here on the previous lap. He's going down the inside of Fisher for 5th, as here's John Bow. Look at him now inside the top 10.
Well, right up
and
on the curve
Filosky's gone again.
Oh, that's what I mean. I reckon he's got some sort of braking issues, maybe temperature related. It is a really hot day here today.
So all that hard work has come up donuts for him as John Bow.
Round the outside. He's going to put the pressure on. Oh, lock up there. He's going to get this done. This is tricky. I've been in this position before, actually with Alex Davis, and we had a bit of a moment a few years ago through turn 5. It's not. There's a lot of corners you can go 2 by 2. That's not one of them.
What a pass. You rarely see that happen. This is the replay. Karen Filosky trying to put the moves on the number 9 Falcon. Left it late. He had to think about it. And then, ran across the inside, got dirt on the tyres, and here was history.
Probably more than anything, just lacked a bit of conviction with that move there. He came in and then he questioned himself and backed out of it, and really lost out in a big way.
Back to the front. Seaton hasn't got away from Jason Gomersall. He's very pumped up. He's set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:17.37. The gap is 0.3 of a second. We're halfway home in race 1 of the Touring Car Masters here at Ipswich. They've left Eddie Abelnica behind, 2 seconds behind. Here's Fisher, and now Bow will go up to 5th place of that pass. So from 23rd position,
what a try.
John Bow is now inside the top 5. Remarkable effort.
And once a racer, always a racer. Some of those moves he's pulled off, and then it gets harder the further up the grid you go. Obviously, the lap times are more comparable, but he's still getting the job done. He could end up in the podium for this race. You never know.
Another 4 seconds up the road is Adam Bressington. You saw him in the foreground of that shot, the yellow Camaro. Here's Seaton and Gomersall coming around to complete this lap of the shortened Touring Car Masters race. A bit fearful thought we weren't going to get this race underway with all the time certain finishes we have, but the good news is we are racing the Kumo Series to follow after this.
We've got Gomersall and Seaton exchanging faster sector times at the moment, so their lap times are very comparable. A great race there for first and second.
This is Curran now on the backside of Adam Garwood. So battle for 8th and 9th. That's Kasulki, so he's got ahead of these guys and disappearing.
I got to say, that's a bit cheeky. The amount of defending that Garwood's doing at the moment. You know, if I were up there in the control tower, I'd be questioning it and almost borderline putting out a bad sportsmanship flag there. You make your move to defend, you can't go back onto the racing line. You can see him going very defensive, lap in, lap out, and then back over to the racing line more often than not. You do that enough times in a row, you start raising a few alarm bells upstairs and potentially penalties. And look, he's only hurting himself as a result.
It's cost him time. The Kasulki car has disappeared, and now Mark King slides in between the two of them. King not qualifying as high up as he'd usually do. Goes down past Brett Curran, the man that's racing in the Australian Trans Am Series, the 55-year-old from Toowoomba. What is it about Toowoomba? I said it earlier today, but so many cool drivers have come out of there. Oh, absolutely. There's some young guys coming through. Obviously, some very seasoned campaigners like Will Power. Don't know what it is, but it's they produce some good drivers. It's a cool spot. Maybe we should lobby to be commentating up there for the remainder of the weekend. Great crowd here. It's nearly 30 degrees, and you think it's winter as Kasulki has come into pit lane out of our window. So what's happened to the Monaro? He's hit the lane. What a shame on his return to Touring Car Masters. I was wondering if it was a penalty, but I couldn't see anything that he could have been penalised for a drive-through. So he's obviously got some issues there that need to be tended to by his pit crew. Great battle here. Mark King, like John Bow. Side by side through turn 2. There wasn't much in that. There was a couple of centimetres at most. As we see, the car spun out at turn 6. And that's Darren Bill that's gone around. Final turn, keeps out of the gravel. Bit of a drift as he gets going again. Or Curran, door handle to door handle with a 17-year-old from Tasmania. That's what I love about this championship. As beautiful as these cars are, they're still race cars. They're out there, they're rubbing panels. That's what it's all about. Might have been a little touch there too. The left front is rubbing on the Angler Speeds entry. In these cars, there's no fiberglass or things that flex and come back. It's all metal panels in these cars. Old school cool, isn't it? Here we go around the backside of the circuit. John Bow, purple sector for that first sector, just gets stronger and stronger. He's set the fastest lap of the race, currently P4, up from P23 starting. So plenty of action happening. This was the spin for Beale, who lit up the Hoosiers. All by himself. Just a little mistake. Again, it's that turn 6 just seemed to catch so many people out. It seems like a bit of an unsuspecting corner, but it does creep up on you. What helped him was that little concrete apron which has been added over the past couple of years. It prevented him from burying himself in the deep gravel traps. Lap 8 of 9, so it's a shortened distance today. And John Bow, best on ground effort. He's got past Bressington and now chases Eddie Abelnica, who's another couple of seconds up the road. Yeah, 4 seconds. He's got 2 laps to do it. Unlikely at the moment, given that Abelnica's doing very similar lap times. So unless something dramatic happens up the front end, I think John Bow's going to Keith Kasulki. Disaster. And this is the final turn. As the leaders come around, he's stuck up on the curb. Yeah, the really tricky thing about this is Keith Kasulki can't actually see what's coming from the other direction. You've got no vision. Not like a road car. You know, you're in a bucket seat, limited view with the Hans device on as well, but he's got it going safely, which is good to see. So he goes a lap down in the process. We start the final lap in race number 1. 2 more to come up this weekend at Queensland Raceway. Glenn Seaton, well, he's shut the race down now, hasn't he? The gap is out to 2.2 seconds to Jason Gomersall. Eddie Abelnica another 4 seconds down the road in 3rd, and John Bow from 23rd up to 4th. Same too for Mark King. He come from 20th and now is inside the top 10 in 7th. Jim Richards is not one we've actually spoken about. He's gone back a little bit from his qualifying position. Just seems to be struggling a little bit this weekend. Seaton, race winner at Winton earlier this year. On that Sunday afternoon, we're heading down to the final turn pole position in Adelaide. He got pole position earlier today. Has really come to terms with the Touring Car Masters category. The two-time Australian Touring Car champion comes out the final turn, and he will collect the win in the shortened race number 1 of the Touring Car Masters here in Queensland. Great effort. And just over 1.5 seconds in the end, back to Jason Gomersall, who's dangerously close to collecting a win here in Touring Car Masters. Still going on here between Fisher and Abel Nika. All right, contact, and Fisher goes off. That's King, I should say, going past. Delivery's wrong, and Fisher gets served off the track. Smart King will get a position, but
stewards will be looking into that. That could have been a lot worse. The fence there on the outside is very close, so nicely managed by Andrew Fisher, but no doubt there'll be an exchange of words after the race between those two drivers.
And the body language from Fish tells the story there. Looking very dejected.
He's an intimidating looking guy, isn't he?
I wouldn't mess with him.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, at the same time, when you've got someone with a bit of overlap on the outside, you've got to give a little bit of racing room. So he's kind of forced them out wide, and
he's moved over. And
he might, you know what, he might not have even known he was there. So look, hopefully the boys can talk it out after the race and be done with it.
Well done to Glenn Seaton, though. Picks up a win. There's more action happening out of our window.
We've had another spin at the final corner. And it could be... I can't tell who it is from here.
It's Beale for the second time.
The second time.
And he's brought a lot of dust and muck onto the course.
Putting on a big show for us down here.
So, Glenn Seaton, the winner of this race, race number 1 of the weekend, round 5 of this year's Touring Car Masters Series. Jason Gomersall second, Eddie Abel Nika in third, John Bower from 23rd to 4th, then Bressington, King, Fisher, Karen Filowski, Jim Richards handled 11th position, Rusty French, Sven Burkhart's in the Porsche, down to Alan Bowen and Darren Bill with 2 spins against his name.